just had a pretty amazing 5-day weekend trip, and the purpose of the trip was this right here, the Lighthouse Wedding. Tell me in the comments if you can hear me all right, everybody. Appreciate y'all tuning in for the Retro weekly update, perhaps. I don't know if this is going to be a weekly thing. Or, there we are. Hey, now I can see me over here. That's awesome. And, oh, I need to mute this. Hey, Gary J. Master, how are you doing? Great to hear from you. Now, yeah, so what did I do this weekend? A lot. A lot happened this weekend. What's up, Drew? I see you. Rob Brown, good to see you. Glad you can hear me good. I got like the legit microphone going on this live stream too, so I hope everything's sounding good. But let's see. So a couple months back, one of our prospects in Texas says, "Hey Retro, the guys got together and we want to buy you a ticket to fly out to Dallas or Lubbock, Texas, through Dallas into Lubbock and come to James's wedding." So I've got a really awesome relationship with a couple of our prospects out there. We've had this ongoing chat going on for months and months and months. So we finally got to meet a person back at our national run. It was awesome. Getting to meet those guys for the first time. And but yeah, sometimes you click with people because your particular brand of weird is compatible. And so all three of us are kind of a little bit nerdy. And so James and Corey are both into like comic books and stuff, and I'm kind of into that stuff too. But James Yeager's got a quite an extensive collection of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers memorabilia, like all of the legit like movie quality helmets and whatnot, which are incredibly uncomfortable to wear, by the way, and I wouldn't dare try to ride a motorcycle in one. But anyway, it was cool getting to see his collection when we got out there. But that's kind of how we got connected, and so they wanted to fly me out to come and attend the wedding. And then a few days later, James messaged me again, and he's like, Retro, so are you ordained? I was like, I think I know where this is heading. And yes, and you know, since you guys already bought me a ticket and I'll be in town anyway, I might as well go ahead and, you know, officiate your wedding and all that good stuff. So that was the whole purpose of the trip. And so I flew out of, drove up to Charlotte last Thursday to fly over to Dallas Fort Worth, and then from there fly up to Lubbock, Texas, which is a neat little town. It's pretty cool. Never been there before. They've got a really neat arts district that had a lot of really awesome graffiti art and whatnot. I think there's probably some pictures of me tagged where you can see some of the big murals that they have over there. So we had a great time taking some pictures this weekend. But the whole theme of the wedding, as you can tell by this save the date, was a kind of a superhero theme. And so I decided, you know, since I'm going to be doing the wedding ceremony, we might as well take that and run with it. And so we had a pretty epic wedding ceremony. It was all superhero themed, and like the vows were you know, will you be the Clark Kent to this Lois Lane, and the Harley Quinn to this Joker, and that kind of thing. So we had a good time with it. The Pedal Pals, or the Flower Boys, as it were, put on quite a show. I don't know if that footage has been released publicly, or actually it's on TikTok. So this is public knowledge. If you go on TikTok and follow Cheeks Rides, I believe, Corey Cheeks McGehee, he's got it on his TikTok there. It's got like 25,000 views on it. So they come out in kilts and are throwing flower petals out of their you know, the little pouch that you wear with a kilt. So they had a pouch full of petals, and so they came out to the sound of that whatever the song name is like bow, 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 bow. You know, slow jam, right? And so that was a hoot. So we had an awesome wedding, awesome ceremony, because now that James is married. He gets to prospect for his wife. So good. What's up, Adam? Good to see you. Daryl, thanks for tuning in. Matt Morrison, Mark Stewart. Thank you all for being here. Sebastian Rentz from Germany. That's awesome. And Lighthouse, of course. So James Yeager, good to see you. It was so awesome hanging out with all these guys. Josh Boise, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Thanks for picking me up at the airport yesterday. Really appreciate that. So anyway, we had an awesome weekend. I got to ride motorcycles with Lighthouse and his fam, and meet his son in person, who was like super stoked to meet the famous disciple Retrow or whatever. And so it was cool getting to meet Vinny for the first time. Vinny Knuckles, who was like a black belt in youth karate or something. So all these guys are pretty hardcore. So James's Lighthouse, as we call him, is about 6'9", and it kind of towers over everybody, and just quite an awesome guy. So to you, Lighthouse, thank you for serving everybody this weekend, even in the midst of being a groom for his wedding. He was just working nonstop, trying to make sure that everybody was taken care of. So we really appreciate that. And so thank you all for tuning in again. This is just kind of a retro update about my weekend and the trip to Lubbock, Texas, to officiate a superhero wedding. It was quite good. So the leg of the flight from Dallas to Lubbock, I actually had a really good conversation with the gentleman who was next to me on the flight. It was open seating, so you just kind of sat down wherever you found a seat, which was cool. And so we wound up talking. He used to ride motorcycles and now owns a farm in Missouri where he reloads all his own ammo. And so we had a good time talking about guns and motorcycles and all kinds of stuff. And so we kind of connected. Introduced him kind of to my YouTube channel. He checked out some of the videos. I got his number. And so I was like, when are you guys heading out? And they happened to be flying back on Monday, just like me. And given that there was only one flight from Dallas to Lubbock on Thursday when I was arriving, I figured there was probably only going to be one flight out of Lubbock to Dallas, which was correct. And so he said, yeah, we're flying out, heading out Monday too. And I was like, well, save me a seat if y'all happen to get on the plane first, and we'll see you on Monday. So that was cool, and he and his wife did save me a seat on Monday, so I got to talk with him a little bit about the weekend and what all they did. His son's like a coach for Texas A&M, and so they were flying out to go to the football game and that kind of thing. So the other awesome thing that happened, I had the world's best layover for a flight. Certainly the best layover I've ever had was about 3 hours. I was going to be in Dallas, Texas, waiting for the flight back to Charlotte on Monday. And there's a fellow YouTuber that I had connected with who works for Maverick Harley Davidson out there. And he was going to be working on Monday. He was off work or working somewhere else Thursday to Sunday. But yeah, he said, yeah, I'll be at work on Monday. And so I was like, man, it'd be awesome to catch up with you, shoot some video, meet you in person. And like we both started kind of YouTubing around the same time. Lugnuts Guapo is his name, Lugnuts Guapo. And he is a white Mexican. He looks a lot like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He's got long hair. He's kind of a Israeli looking dude. But he's a lot of fun, and he's a believer, which was cool. So we got to talk about Jesus and motorcycles and all that good stuff. But what he told me when we met, and I got all this on camera, and I can't wait to show you all the footage from Maverick Harley Davidson in Texas. But he was like, yeah, I've actually been following you on Instagram for like a long time. And you had a Honda VLX that you built into a bobber, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, I actually built a VLX bobber too. And so I guess several years ago we had connected before the YouTube days, and evidently I had messaged him telling him about the club back then and stuff, because he's another young dude that rides motorcycles, and we had some guys in Texas, and so I was just telling him about it. But so it was really cool getting to meet Lugnut Squapo in person. His name is Carl, but a lot of folks call him Lugnuts. So, you know, I wasn't really sure what we were going to really film or what we were really going to shoot or talk about. But you know, we just, you know, shot some scenes of us kind of hanging out and getting introduced and around the shop and that kind of thing. And then he's like, would you like to go take one of these LiveWires out for a test drive? So if you don't know, the Harley Davidson LiveWire is their brand newest electric motorcycle, and it's like the Tesla of motorcycles. It's all torque all the time, and there is these motorcycles are probably smarter than we are with all the technology they have built in. But he's like, yeah, would you want to go ride one? I was like, well, I don't have a helmet. And he's like, we got helmets, good to go. You just sign this waiver, we can go. I'll take you for a ride. And so he hopped on one, and I hopped on one, and he took off, man. And I certainly wasn't going to let him leave me in the dust. It was not your average test ride. I should rewind and say that two hang-arounds and a prospect that I had never met before in person drove 50 minutes to Dallas Airport to pick me up, to escort me and take me over to the Harley dealership. So that was really awesome. So I got to meet two other guys that I hadn't had a chance to meet yet that weekend, and that was Josh and Jordan from our Texas charter. So thank you guys again for scooping me up from the airport and allowing me to have that epic experience. And so yeah, they took me over there, we shot some video. He's like, hey, do you want to test drive a LiveWire? I'm like, absolutely, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. And all weekend long we have been playing kazoos, and you may or may not have seen me play a kazoo if you've been to a Disciple weekend recently. But originally I got kazoos because I wanted to film cover songs of pop hits and not get a copyright violation on my YouTube channel for having popular music featured in my videos. So that's the whole point behind why I got into becoming a kazooist and doing all that stuff. But anyway, so I may or may not have pulled out the kazoo and made some motorcycle sounds with it, which made everybody that was in their offices at the Harley dealership like stuck their heads out to see what was going on as I was making motorcycle sounds with the kazoo. May or may not have also been requested by a 6'5" custodian worker at the Publix like grocery store out there. He's like, hey, do y'all like we're just messing around, having a good time. About 11 o'clock at night, playing the kazoos as we go up and down the aisles. So he was like, do you take requests? And I was like, sure, yeah, what do you want to hear? Thinking he's going to say something like Journey or, you know, some rock song. And nope. He was like, can you play Let It Go from Frozen? I was like, what? It was the last song that I ever thought this guy would request. And but we were happy to oblige, and all the managers came out and as they heard the kazooing, and we got to play Happy Birthday on the kazoo for one of the cooks at IHOP that morning at like 2 a.m. It was a hoot. The sheriff wasn't super excited about us playing kazoos in the IHOP, but nevertheless, we did it anyway. We had a good time. So yeah, if you haven't seen my stories from yesterday, some of that footage is on there from Maverick Harley Davidson. Thanks again to Lugnut Squapo. Appreciate you showing us around the Harley dealership yesterday, and I can't wait to get that video up and on my channel. hopefully it'll come out soon. But let me tell you something. If you get a chance, go test drive one of them LiveWires, man, because it's yeah. He was like, you could it's got a economy mode, a track mode, and like a sport mode or something like that on it. And I was just like, I kept it in economy, man, and that was plenty. That was plenty of excitement and enjoyment for me that day after a weekend of, not a whole lot of sleep and officiating a wedding and riding motorcycles around Texas and all of that. And so I was already exhausted. I was like, yeah, the last thing I need right now is to have this thing send me into outer space. So, Lugmas is on one, like, he takes off, and I'm like, I'm not letting him, get away from me like that. So I went and chased him down. We kind of rode around a little bit. So it was a short ride, but man, boy, was it insane. It was like really smooth riding machine. I haven't ridden a whole lot of crotch rockets. I hopped on a CBR 1000 one time, and it was like, yeah, this is stupid how fast this thing is. And this was even more so, even in economy mode. But it's automatic transmission. It's just roll on the throttle and let off the throttle, and it's got, front and rear brake on it, no clutch. Of course, as soon as I hopped on, like, my muscle memory kicked in, and I'm like over here feeling around, like trying to pull the clutch into neutral to start it up. And I was like, oh wait, yeah, it's a automatic, and you just hit the start button and you're ready to go. And it was honestly much easier to get used to and comfortable with than I expected. I felt like it would be a little bit more challenging. If you've ever ridden a moped, so it's, a moped's only like single speed, no clutch, no shifter. It's kind of like that. But man, fast, son. Yeah, it was insane. And so we got to ride around a little bit. He took me on their like 20-minute loop. He was like, because we were short on time because I was in between flights and we still had to get, had to ride 30 minutes back to the airport and had to go through TSA again and all that stuff. So my prospects who picked me up, their task was to keep me on time and make sure I didn't miss my flight. And, of course, they did a wonderful job. Here I am back at home. Obviously, didn't have to wait for another flight later that day or whatever. But anyway, yeah, best frickin' layer. Oh, quiet, too, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Roy. The electric motorcycles don't make any noise. The only noise that comes from the electric motorcycles comes out of your mouth. And so we were coming back into the parking lot, and I was like making my own noises. So that was a lot of fun. All the people that happened to be in the parking lot were like, "Well, what is that noise?" Because I'm, on this silent electric motorcycle. I mean, it made zero noise. They're silent. I mean, it's electric. It doesn't have a motor. It's got a battery, and so much torque. I wasn't quite ready to try to ride a 30,000 motorcycle with and play the kazoo at the same time. I would have loved it next time. The next time I'm in Dallas, Texas, and I have my kazoo and a Harley Davidson LiveWire to test ride, there may be. Anyway, I can definitely add that in on the editing side, so that'll be great. But yeah, you got to make your own motorcycle sounds with the electric motorcycles. It's pretty funny. Oh man, so finally got back to Charlotte and had to drive an hour and a half home, and yeah, I'm very glad to be home. It was a long 5 days. Obviously, glad to see the wife and kids again, and my wife is definitely glad that I'm home to help take care of those kids. So yeah, it was just an incredible weekend, and I just want to say thank you to everybody from the Texas charter and the other charters, Wes Harvey and the other guys for showing up, and man, it's just such a blessing to have brothers and bros all over the country. Drew Green, in fact, drove his car all the way out to Texas. His 1980 Mudmero Camaro. It's a little bit of a hoopty, and he may or may not have gotten pulled over leaving Texas because they thought he was a drug dealer or something. So as soon as he gets back, I'm definitely making him a decal for his back window that says, "Driving a hoopty is not a crime." So, anyway, if you too would like a decal that says, "Driving a hoopty is not a crime," shoot me a message. Go ahead and like this video and give it a thumbs up. Tell me in the comments where you're tuning in from. It's great to hear from everybody. I'm hoping to do more live streaming, which I can also do from the YouTube platform now. Before I hit 1,000 subscribers, that option was not available. And so make sure that you head over to my YouTube channel, Retrow TV, RETROW. It's going to think you spelled it wrong. But Retrow TV, Retrow's Rants and Raves. And head over there and hit that like button and subscribe and do all the things. And yeah, I would appreciate it. And then that way you can get notified whenever I go live and do more of these videos. So that's kind of it for the weekly retro update, and maybe we'll start doing this more regularly. Gary Mustard from Alberta, Canada. Roy from Anchorage, Alaska. Jake Cyphers, what's up, my dude? Yeah, Adam's definitely great to see you. Larry Melvin, see you down there. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Jim Trosper, thanks for showing up. Hey Chelsea, how are you? Merry Christmas. And yeah, Guppy, how are you, man? Good to see you. I'll see you down here. David K, Disciple Pipes. They are, yeah. Oh boy. So anyway, that was my epic weekend, and definitely the best layover you could possibly. Oh, here's my shirt that they gave me. They gave me for going on a test ride on the LiveWire. You can get one of these beautiful Harley Davidson LiveWire t-shirts. So I'm trying to catch up to myself over here on my monitor and see that. So yeah, got a couple of these. I actually will be giving away one of these shirts. It's an XL, but we might be able to get you a different size. Harley Davidson LiveWire t-shirt on my channel. Whenever that video comes out, we'll probably throw one of these in there. And so yeah, make sure you're subscribed if you want to get a free t-shirt, and maybe we'll do some more giveaways soon as well. Also, I've got to give this other thing away. I thought it was around here somewhere, but then again, maybe not. Oh, yes, this. So we hit 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, and I said that when we did. Yes, sir. Hey, big boy.
I think every day.
Come say hey. We're talking to everybody live on FacePage.
Well, I think when Mommy picks me up every day from school, I can eat every piece of the Batman cookie.
You want to eat all the pieces of the Batman cookie?
Yeah, whenever Mommy picks me up.
Yeah, was it super yummy? Yeah? Can you say thank you, Lighthouse, for the Batman cookie?
Thank you, Lighthouse, from the Batman cookie.
Right here.
Thank you,
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse, from the Batman cookie.
Those came from Lighthouse's wedding. He had a superhero wedding. That's where I was in. Where was I this weekend? Do you remember?
At the airport.
I was at the airport this weekend a good bit, but also, where did I fly to on the airplane? Texas.
Can I have a piece of the Batman?
Can you have a piece of the Batman cookie? You can go ask your mommy if you can have a piece of the Batman cookie, but I am okay with you having a piece of the Batman cookie from Lighthouse's wedding. Anyway, back to the giveaway. This is a wireless charging RAM mount style motorcycle phone mount with all that cool hardware, and I'm trying to figure out what the best way to do a giveaway is on that. So tell me if let's see, if you need a motorcycle phone mount for your motorcycle, And if you have been following my channel, which I'm sure you have, then I'm trying to figure out what the best way to give that away is. All right, we're going to do a trivia challenge. If you can tell me the 2 names of the guys who were wrestling in my first Biker Brawl video, then I will send you this here motorcycle phone mount, as long as you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, Retrow's Rants and Raves, Retro TV. And if you can tell me in the comments of this video, who were the 2 men that were wrestling in that video, the first person to come up with the right answer is going to win this beautiful wireless charging motorcycle phone mount. And I think that my wife has given me the international signal for wrap it up and hurry it along so we can go take some family pictures. Be sure you go over and check out my wife's page. She's a blogger, mommy blogger, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Value Minded Mama. That would be the Mrs. herself. Hi, Mrs. Retrow. Mrs. Value Minded Mama. Do you need me to get changed?
Yes, please.
Why are you always trying to change me? I'm beautiful just the way I am. And so are you.
Not at all.
Okay. All right, folks. So tell me, let's see. Todd and Lance, David Scroggins. Oh, I think we have a winner. David, shoot me your address. You're getting this thing for free.